we're all keeping our eyes on the flotilla that's headed to the plaza. You guys know what I'm saying. And this is shaping up to be like fuck Shark Week. This is like Blockade Week. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but like what's shaping up is wild. But before I get into that, let me address the world's largest case of butthole puckering. So in my video yesterday, where I was just giving a general outline so that people could follow the story, talking about the flotilla and the international escorts that were not those kinds of escorts, but, you know, the naval ships that were sailing alongside of them. I don't even know how many of y'all, because I said, and shamefully, the United States is not among them. The United States is the country, okay? So this is why critical thinking matters. It's what separates the right from the left. Yes, there are American veterans aboard one of the vessels. That is true. But that's not what I was talking about. I was saying the names of the countries. I said like Malaysia, Turkey, da-da-da-da-da. And I don't even know how many of y'all jumped in my ass about, oh my God, you should be ashamed of yourself. There are Americans aboard those shit. I didn't say shit about that. I was not even talking about that, okay? So everybody like, release the sphincter muscles. Okay, now back to the important stuff. Here's the deal. There's this man named Mossab Youssef, who was once super close to Hamas leadership because he was the Hamas leader's son, who later became an undercover asset for Israel's Shin Bet. A short version. I think he was like locked up in some Israeli prison, and then he started to question his Hamas values and said, oh, maybe like Israel's not that bad. He just made the wildest call. He is telling ordinary Israeli civilians, yes, civilians, okay, look, they want to bring this flotilla here to challenge our blockade on Gaza. He said, cool, bet. Let's launch a counter flotilla. No, I'm not joking, guys. This really just happened. So just for clarification, you have the international flotilla of all those boats that are going to come up to the Israeli blockade. And then you have this man who's telling Israeli citizens, cool, if you have a boat, put it in the water. Let's have a counter flotilla to block them in the water, right? Before they even get anywhere near the coastline. And listen to the way he put this call out. He said, listen up. Israeli boat owners, sea wolves, fathers, mothers, sons, daughters. He said, let's create a blue and white wall for the hostages. No ramming, no attacks. That was the best part of what he said. Just a wall of Israeli boats at sea to counter the flotilla that's coming. And why does any of this even matter? Because this is about optics, right? So he's saying, this guy, Youssef, is saying that this international flotilla on approach to the plaza, that this is not about aid at all. He's saying that, no, it's about optics. It's designed to provoke sympathy for Hamas, all while hostages are still being held, even though multiple times Israel's government has been given an option to recover their hostages. Anyway, that's a whole other video. And just a quick rewind, okay? That whole blockade, right? Israel and Egypt's blockade for the plaza has been going on since like 2007, right? Ever since Hamas took control. And just for anybody who's MAGA that's watching, yes, I know it's not Hamas, but I also know that, you know, the powers that be. Anyway, my followers are smart enough to understand what I'm doing. If you made it this far in the video, drop the secret words, all eyes on the flotilla, in the comments section. Don't forget to like, repost, and follow along for updates. Now, why does he even matter? Who is Mossab Youssef? He was born in Ramallah. He is the son of a senior Hamas leader, but later flipped to work undercover in Israel, and his Shin Bet name was the Green Prince. And that's why his words hit differently. Anyways, back to his demand. He's basically asking for a symbolic, non-violent visual in the water, linked with the Navy, basically denying this flotilla the international moment, right, where they come up against the Israeli blockade. So his supporters are saying, well, yeah, this is just a civic defense, right? We're in sympathy with the hostages. But of course, critics will say that this is, you're pouring fuel on the fire. You're asking for an international incident, a backlash. Regardless, whether you think Mossab Youssef's call to action is provocation or protection, this is going to turn into a high-stakes showdown where the headlines are going to be written in the waves. So you guys tell me, do you think that a bunch of Israeli civilians showing up for a showdown with the international flotilla headed to the plaza, does that strengthen Israel's case? Or does it backfire in the court of public opinion? Y'all let me know what you think. Share this so we can keep all eyes on that flotilla.